Ooh, hello, 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 hello. Welcome back to the channel for what I believe is now episode 7. Continuation of my walk from episode 6. And just because I can, I was just listening to it. It turned out great. Gonna do a little bit of editing, and you would have already watched that by the time this one is posting. But it is a beautiful day today. I'm just finishing up this night stroll. I don't know if you've ever been to the Woodmore Town Center Plaza, but it's actually really beautiful over here. I like this area, good architecture, one of my favorite places. But today's video will be a little bit different, probably from what I was talking about. It's something I've been thinking about and, making connections. And, I think about the intention of this channel is to spread positivity, bring joy, get people to a positive place, get people enjoying what they do. Even when I try to go out to the grocery store, I just expect to get great service and have the person, because I don't know what that person is going on. I don't know what their manager said to them before. And yeah, while I might be a patron, we're all humans first. And I can complain about the service that I see now, or I can help click on a little bit, help bring some joy where I go. I was walking through the grocery store the other day. I don't go to the grocery store often. And a young man, I could tell, was stocking, stopped next where things were. He kind of sighed for a little bit. Oh man, what's going on? You been stocking all day? Listen to him a little bit. It's like their third truck. Store had lost power not that long ago. And so he's working. It's like his 5th shift of, 10, 11 hours. They're just trying to get caught up. I've flipped and been there. And in his mind, I know he's probably putting on his best gay face. He didn't mean to go, ugh. But it's like, I'm trying to get this done. And here's another thing that's going to stop me from that. And I could be human for a minute. Yes, they're getting paid. I understand all that. But he's having a tough day. And just a little bit of recognizing that, sharing a story from back when I did it. We ended up having a good time. Probably ended up taking too much time to work at this point now, but it brought a smile to his face. Showed me where the item was. I dapped him up, said, have a great day. Thanked me, sir. Said, hey, you know what? Thank you for brightening up my day. I appreciate it. And I hope that he went back and enjoyed the task a little bit more. Maybe it's a little bit more productive. I have no idea. But we could do that. We have these moments to do that all the time. And so I just want to be mindful about, like, how am I showing up? Right? I want to start this Joyful Warrior campaign. But I want to be consistent, and can't be a joyful warrior if I get upset and if I'm waiting too long in the grocery store. So this is where, I need to work on my patience. And when I find myself in those moments, like, how do I still spread a little positivity? Can I turn that grocery store line into some positive fun to make the worker's job a little easier, which may be motivating to go a little faster? Who knows? But I can tell you what, it's not ever going to be great. Me going off, me yelling, screaming, cussing. And if I know that's not my natural state of being, if I know that's not going to solve it, I'm going to think about just being positive and having fun. But that is not what this video is about per se. I've been thinking about, where I'm at in my own faith journey, and the beliefs that I hold. Yeah, but I always like to be a person that's focused on the similarities of different faiths, beliefs, and religions versus the differences. And I think that's important. So I've been listening, I've been researching about, like, the impacts and, who are some other folks that's tried to do what I'm trying to do. I've come across, quite a few different people, quite a few different philosophers, old and modern day thinkers. And, the thing that I keep coming back to over and over and over and over and over again is we are what we think. Whether that's from a place of, I can do anything, I'm a creator, I'm not good enough, I'm poor, I'm rich, I'm abundant, I'm whatever the thought is, not the words, the thought. And I find that every religion has been kind of saying something on these lines in just very slightly different ways, but it's still the same. So I was listening to a Bob Proctor video. Not sure. I think Bob Proctor just passed away not that long ago, a couple years ago. But Bob Proctor, kind of in that Tony Robbins camp, very high optimism, anything is possible. And I remember listening to Tony Robbins. Like, Tony Robbins was always one of those people that I liked as a kid, but like I never put a lot of stock in what he said as a kid. From where I was coming from, it sounded nice. And it was definitely aspirational. I was like, oh, true, anybody can do it. I just didn't see a lot of people doing what he was suggesting, but the message still felt good. I think Bob Proctor is kind of one of these people that's in this school of thought. But if you listen to what Tony Robbins has been saying, and you listen to what Bob Proctor is saying, that you're not going to find what you're looking for, success, if you're in a negative state, if you have a negative emotion. And when I mean negative, I mean like resistance, like you're fighting against a calling or whatever that is. But you can sense, and I don't have to explain to you like what a negative emotion is. Like, we know when something don't feel good. And I think by knowing when something don't feel good, we're keenly aware when we're feeling in a way that we don't want to feel, when we're in a negative space. And there's really nothing, not really nothing, there's nothing good that's going to really ever come from that place. So how do you hit a place of positivity? How do you hit a place of like where you're vibing high and anything is possible? It starts before you ever even utter out a word out of your mouth. It starts with that first thought. And if you have a negative thought, what are some things you do to move to a more positive space? So I know I've talked about this on another episode, but I was thinking about like how all these sayings that were taught as kids are, at least for me, were never fully explained. I mean, I run them back through this filter after what I've known after being on this earth for now 40 years. It kind of hits a little bit different. And so I really just wanted to kind of share some of those connections. Video might not be for everybody. Like if you find yourself maybe a little bit uncomfortable or unwavering in your faith, what I've always found to keep me grounded, it's so easy to focus on the differences between our faiths and religions. When I focus on what's the same, it grounds me and let me know that I'm on the right track. Because they're just universal truths all around us. I used to always hear, don't go to bed angry at somebody. And, it was a couple different reasons, a little bit more from like, you don't know if you're going to not wake up and see that person again. And if you go to bed angry at somebody, it's a good chance you're going to wake up angry at them. So now we're carrying a problem over into the next day. That phrase shows up in the Bible in so many ways. We talk about, as a man thinketh, right? Like, we're taught to pray at night. And one of the reasons we're taught to pray at night in the Western world, if you're a Christian, Muslim, whatever, is I kind of connect that dot now. It's like you can't go to bed angry. Because if you go to bed angry, you're going to wake up angry. If you go to bed negative, you're going to wake up negative. And prayer is a great place to kind of pause and appreciate and show gratitude for what you have. And by praying every night, no matter what happened in your day, it's a reset button. Who you pray to doesn't matter, at least for me. Whatever the higher power you believe in, the source of energy you believe in, being grateful is a really, really great step. What we're grateful about is going to be different. But what I can guarantee you is if you can't get to a place of grateful and positivity, you're going to stay where you are. And so how do you start appreciating what you have? So how do you appreciate what you got? How do you demonstrate appreciation for what you have? And if you can get yourself to a really good spot and move into a place of positivity before you wake up, well, when you're asleep, the universe is still universal, right? All that energy that would have been carried with you if it was negative, that positive energy, now you have positive momentum now that you're asleep. And when you wake up, you're going to be in a way more positive spot. That starts from a place of prayer and being gratitude. And I think about when I pray, I'm either asking for understanding or I'm asking for gratitude, right? Or I'm showing gratitude. What a great place to be in if you're trying to solve something. The other thing that I was thinking about, we talk a lot about some nursery rhymes that I've heard this saying over and over and over again. You know, one of the other things that I've heard a lot about growing up, and I think that I've kind of taken for granted, is like this ability to understand that our prayers start not just from our words, but it's coming from our thoughts first. And I want to double click on that again. Our prayers are not, the action of our prayers, the power in our prayers are not necessarily coming about from the words that we're thinking. It's coming from our thoughts and how we're feeling. And faith is knowing that when you pray and what you ask for, soon as you ask for it, it's done without a doubt. That's what faith means. And if I don't have faith, I doubt it because I think that it's too fantastical. Guess what? It's not going to happen. It's not. That's what faith is. If I say, this is what I'm going after, this is what I want, I have to have faith that it's going to come true without a doubt. One of the things that we're taught is not to tell people what we're working on. The reason they tell us not to do that is because humans often doubt you based on their own limitations. And so faith, if my faith is strong, there's nothing you can tell me that's going to unwaver my faith. Because I know without a doubt, whatever I ask for, I'm going to receive. And you got to have faith that that prayer, that thought that you're launching into the universe is going to come true. But if you let other people tell you it's not, it's not. And that's how the world works. That's how the Lord works. That's how source energy works. Whatever you want to call it, whatever your faith is, you have to be engaging with it from a place of positivity. You have to be engaging with it from a place of belief. But if you're praying and you don't think it's going to happen, it's never going to happen. I can guarantee you that without a doubt. If you're praying and you know it's not going to happen, it is never going to happen because you don't believe it, because you don't have faith. So how do you build faith? You find commonality in the universe. Because what you're asking for, there's nothing new. There's already been creators that's done it. You can see that it's possible. So if it's possible for somebody else, it can be possible for you. But you have to have faith that it's possible for you. And if you let, doubt can be, well, I didn't get dealt the hand that they got dealt with, or they got great parents, or whatever the case may be, they inherited $1 million. Of course they were ever going to do it. Okay, they inherited $1 million. Why can't you find $1 million from her? Who knows? But you got to have faith that it's going to come true. And if you're going to let other people tell you that it's not, then you don't deserve to have it. It's that simple. So it's one of these connections that, we're taught a lot in school. We're taught what to know, what to study, but we're not told how to think. We're not told how to use this powerful imagination that we have that can take sound and transmute it into a 3D space where everybody can experience and hear it. We're not taught how to really think and how to properly ask for things, and not ask from a place of lack, but ask from a place of want and desire. And that's a big difference. And said, I don't have this. I really wish I have it. Versus, ooh, I like that. I wonder how I'm going to get it. Big difference. One is like, I already know I'm going to get it because I want it. And I'm not doubting my capability to get it. So, interesting stuff. Something that I've been thinking a lot about as I think about, again, like your role, our role in shaping our own reality. And the way we shape our own reality is by having faith and accepting that we control it. That nobody's really controlling our reality for us but us. And even that requires a level of faith. So this one, a little bit different, like I said. This was just a thought that I pulled out of my head. Hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully parts of it was helpful. If it was, you know what to do. Like, if you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and do so. And share it if this is helpful. Hopefully a part of this message resonated with somebody that can help move them into a positive place. This is about creating a joyful army of joyful warriors. If you want to become a joyful warrior, you know, shoot some videos to help us grow some episodes on this channel, I would love to do that. It's a pretty easy process. Grab yourself a selfie stick, hit record, and start talking about happy stuff. And join this Joyful Warrior campaign. So whoever wants to help partake in that mission, you got some joy and positivity to share, send it my way. We'd love to help feature. But that is all for today, folks. See you next episode.